Hello there, Senators, and welcome back to the channel. At the end of Ahsoka Episode 4, we saw the former Jedi Knight awaken in a mystical realm known as the World Between Worlds. And whether you know a little or a lot about this place doesn't matter. I will explain it all in this video. The question on everyone's mind is, did Ahsoka die when she fell off the cliff on the planet Seatos? In this video, I will share my theory as to whether I think Ahsoka is still alive, and explain how I think this could be all connected to her destiny as a Force wielder. Okay, so I think it's important to remember that Ahsoka has nearly died on at least 2 occasions. The first time, she literally did die. When Ahsoka, Anakin, and Obi-Wan encounter mystical Force wielders known as the Ones, the Padawan's life is forever changed. Ahsoka was corrupted by the son, who embodied the selfless nature of the dark side, and in the same episode the daughter sacrifices herself to save her father, Ahsoka also dies. In a final act of selflessness, the daughter transfers her life essence to Ahsoka, reviving the young Jedi and forever changing her destiny.
Then let my daughter's last act be to breathe life into your friend.
Years later, Ahsoka nearly escapes death again when she is forced to confront her former master, now turned Darth Vader. Ezra Bridger saves Ahsoka from a near-death blow at the hand of Vader via the World Between Worlds.
No. Ahsoka! It can't be.
Ahsoka! She returns to the fallen Sith temple on Malachor through the same portal Ezra pulled her through, and we don't see her again until the events of The Mandalorian Season 2, according to the current timeline. So why do I think Ahsoka is alive at the end of Ahsoka Episode 4? I will admit this is somewhat of a wild theory, and it's purely speculation. But before I go into detail, let's quickly cover everything we know about the World Between Worlds. The Star Wars databank defines the World Between Worlds as a collection of pathways and doors between time and space. Outside the Star Wars universe, the World Between Worlds is said to be a place where our characters can receive knowledge. Here is Dave Filoni with an explanation.
It's more like what the wolf tells Ezra. It's more about knowledge. Knowledge that you can use for your benefit of good, or knowledge that will lead to destruction.
This lines up with what we expect to see inside the World Between Worlds during the Ahsoka show. Now, these rumors have been around for months, so they are probably old news to you by now, but just in case you haven't heard the leaks, here is your spoiler warning. We expect to see Ahsoka learn a valuable lesson of destiny while inside the World Between Worlds. I suspect we will see Anakin Skywalker guide Ahsoka through the World Between Worlds and explain how everything in her life has led her to this moment. This is where we expect to see Clone Wars flashbacks, a fight between Anakin and Ahsoka on Mustafar, which could have been removed based on new leaks and rumors, and even Captain Rex. She will not only gain the knowledge she needs to understand her destiny, but she will also finally realize there was nothing she could do to prevent Anakin from turning to the dark side. We will come back to Ahsoka's destiny in a bit. While Dave Filoni explains the World Between Worlds is about knowledge and how all of time is happening in a single moment, there are nefarious forces, like the Sith, who seek to exploit its power. In the Star Wars Rebels animated series, Emperor Palpatine recognizes the immense power the Nexus in the Force contains.
The symbols and iconography are reminiscent of a report I discovered in the Jedi archives.
The Mortis gods.
Perhaps access to the temple will provide some clarity, my lord.
We must seize the power within, a conduit between the living and the dead.
As Palpatine explains, the World Between Worlds is thought to be a conduit between the living and the dead, perhaps a place where the living and cosmic force intersect, or, as some suspect, an afterlife of sorts. Now, an afterlife would suggest that Ahsoka is dead. However, as we discussed previously, the World Between Worlds is accessible to those who are alive. So here's my theory and thoughts on what I believe is happening. First, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video where I speculate about Ahsoka and all things Star Wars. And if you want to become a true Senator, hit that join button and inquire about becoming a member, where you will receive access to all kinds of perks. Okay, so we have to circle back to the Mortis arc to get a full understanding of my theory. Remember how Ahsoka was resurrected through receiving the life essence of the daughter? Well, the daughter is thought to be a celestial in the Star Wars universe, essentially a very powerful Force wielder. The only way to kill these Mortis gods was by the dagger of Mortis. There is also one particular scene from the Clone Wars I need to draw your attention to.
Who are you taking us to?
The father, of course.
Of course.
And what exactly are you?
We are the ones who guard the power. We are the middle, the beginning, and the end.
Glad she cleared that up for us.
We can hear this same line from the daughter when Ezra opens up the World Between Worlds portal on Lothal. I think the power they are guarding is the World Between Worlds. It's believed long before the timeline of The Mandalorian, the Celestials harnessed the power of portals to travel throughout the galaxy, similar to what we see with the World Between Worlds. And the fact that she insists the Mortis gods are the beginning, middle, and end suggests something eternal about them. Because Ahsoka has a strong connection with the daughter, I suspect it's nearly impossible for Ahsoka to die. I think when Ahsoka fell off the cliff, she was transported into the World Between Worlds. I have to give credit to my good friend Journeyman on this one. He pointed out the fact that when Ahsoka drops the star map after her hand gets burned, you hear what sounds like lightning crackling. This same sound is heard inside the World Between Worlds, right before we see Palpatine make an entrance in Star Wars Rebels. I think the Cosmic Force was preparing for Ahsoka's fall. To be clear, I don't think Anakin rescued her. I feel he was truly surprised to see her when she arrives in the World Between Worlds. The Cosmic Force needs Ahsoka alive. She, along with Anakin, has a great destiny. She is at least part celestial, just like Anakin. I'm going to do a full video explaining exactly what I believe Ahsoka and Anakin's destiny will be. There's too much to include in this video. But to answer the question on everyone's mind, no, I don't believe Ahsoka literally dies when she falls off the cliff while fighting Baylan. In a sense, she may figuratively die. I do believe we will see her transform into Ahsoka the White inside the World Between Worlds. Her old ways of viewing the Jedi will be no more, and she may embrace a larger view of the Force than she already holds. She will emerge from the World Between Worlds as a much wiser version of herself. As Rosario Dawson explains in an Entertainment Weekly article, Dave and I talked a lot about Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White, talking about that transition and how she's someone very capable and excellent and looked up to as a leader, but she still has levels of development to go. There you have it, my theory as to how I believe Ahsoka is indeed alive and never died at the end of Ahsoka Episode 4. I go live on Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time and would love to discuss this more with you, so come and join me. For now, this meeting is adjourned. May the Force be with you always.